So we just received this from Be Quiet today, and this is a Shadow Rock TF2, and this has got 160 watts of TDP, and it can work on all Intel platforms and all AMD platforms, including Ryzen A4 new architectural platform. And plus we're going to be testing it for stress testing like the CPU to see if it dissipates heat really well, keeps really quiet, as this is obviously being announced at Computex for this year 2017, and we're just having a first look and just basically making sure it does what it says on the tin, because if it doesn't, then technically if it's loud it's not going to be quiet, is it? So but anyway, shh. So today we've got an Asus Crosshair 6 motherboard, and we've got some massive memory. So this is DDR4 Kingston memory, and you can see that it's clearly much bigger than a Crucial memory that I've got here, and we want to find out if it's got any clearance issues. We've also got GTX 970 that's connected to the motherboard, and then we're also using the Dark Power Pro 750 watt power supply, and we're using the Pure Base MIDI size case, and we're going to test for airflow around the case to make sure that CPU is keeping cool. But the main attention is keeping the CPU air cooled and quiet and dissipating heat as quick as possible. So now I'm just going to get out of the box, and we're going to get straight on with putting the CPU air cooler onto the CPU, which I've got a Ryzen 1600X chip, and I'm going to overclock that to, I don't know, 3.9, maybe 3.8. Well, maybe I might just have a look on both occasions. So I'll have a look on stock and overclocking, and then see what the difference is. But I'm going to be using stress tests anyway, and technically you're not going to be using that much for stress testing, because it's obviously only for people that want to find out how much their CPU can handle with heat dissipation. But anyway, it looks really nice. I like it. It's really thin, and it looks like it covers the whole RAM area on this sort of size motherboard. So with obviously being a 2011 motherboard chip, it would not cover, it will only cover one side of the CPU, one side of the RAM, but not the other side. But it looks like it's dedicated for this sort of motherboard, and the Z170, Z270, those sort of motherboards. So it looks like it can, if heat is coming from your RAM, if it's overclocked, it can dissipate heat, and it will come out the same way for the CPU. It looks like it's got its own special extra bits of fins for the CPU to actually dissipate heat through. It's got nice copper pipes going through there, so we've got 5 copper pipes, and then we've got this unique or very white paste, which is like the thermal compound on there. It looks quite gloomy and sticky, which it definitely is. But yeah, we're going to just add that, and we're not going to use any other different thermal compound. We're just going to use this and see what the difference is. It's got some nice little holes there. It just looks well made, to be honest with you. And we've got a decent 140 size mil fan on top, and yeah, it looks pretty cool. So we're just going to add this on there, but we're going to get the bracket out first, because we can't do it any other way, can we? And you get a plethora of instructions for any of your countries. You got DE, you got PL, you got FR, you got ES, EN, and RU. So yeah, Russian, England, Spain, French, Polish, German. You got all of it right there. And also, what else do we get in the box? So we get all the brackets that we need, and it's really hidden away. And they're all nicely labelled, I can see straight away, like they normally are in all Be Quiet stuff. And it's all nicely packaged in bags, and it's all nicely kept separate. So you've got an Intel bag there, which we don't need, so you can put that to the side. And then we've got a little spanner and some screws and stuff to keep this down. And then we've got the bracket, retention bracket for the back of the motherboard for the AMD, which is this one. And the AM4 is obviously got screws that are a little bit different. And then we've got the brackets to seal down the actual cooler itself. Now, I'm guessing I'm going to have to put the bracket on first, and this is what comes with the bracket first. It's all self-explanatory, hopefully. And I'm going to try and do this without the instructions and see how easy it is. So, let me get on with it.
Are you holding on to my love when push comes to shove? If you leave, I'll fall. Are you holding on to my love? Are you holding on to my love when push comes to shove? If you leave, I'll fall. Are you holding on to my love? My love, my love, my love, my love, my love,
So I'm really impressed with this Big White CPU air cooler. I think it's really cool. The only thing is like with Ryzen CPUs, it's up and down with the temperatures, and all the software seems to be one saying higher, one saying lower on different software like stress tests. So I'm not too sure what's going on there. But I do use all this software and stuff for Intel and AMD Ryzen, especially for overclocking and stuff, and I've been using it for years. But I haven't always put it on camera, and then I've obviously put it on camera, and every time I go to put it on camera, something goes wrong, which doesn't seem like it adds up. So if you got any questions, or you think that you may have the answer, leave it down in the comments down below. But anyway, I'm ready. The CPU air cooler is super quiet, so yes, I do agree. Big Quiet's done that. They've got a little different sort of thermal paste on there. It's really white, quite sticky. It feels quite thick. Normally, I'll take the thermal paste off and use like a Cooler Master 1 or MX45 like thermal compound, but I thought I'll just use what this comes in the box. It was quite easy to put together. I've done quite a few CPU air coolers, and they're all different, especially Be Quiet's one. They're not all the same. They're kind of the same sort of elements, but yeah, it was quite simple, and it's very like precise where it goes on there. I just took the motherboard bracket off, and then I put the two brackets on, and then nicely machined into the actual CPU plate, which is quite cool. There was clearance issues, so if you do have an old school sort of like Kingston RAM, which I had, which is DDR4, it will stick up, and it takes off about ½ centimeter, which is quite a bit of a clearance issue. So now I've got the crucial memory in there just to show you the difference. But normal memory is not all that it's not all big. Like you got Corsair Vengeance LPX memory, then obviously crucial memory, then you've got G-Skill and all that sort of stuff. So basically just watch out, and if you've got RGBs and stuff like that, it's going to obviously cover over the memory as well. But as you can see, the motherboard's got RGBs, and then it's got RGBs around the actual case as well, and it shines and looks really nice. The heat pipes look really aggressive, just offset to the side, and I liked how it just hangs over the memory. So if you're overclocking the memory, which you're going to probably do, I think this CPU cooler is more aimed at basically Ryzen, because it's more about using more fabrication with having memory that's really optimized, really fast, and make sure your CPU is going as fast as well. Now Intel are not on that level yet, but we've got to see what's going on. There's a few complaints and that, and I did say in the video like long time ago, before everyone started talking with speculation, I had my speculation and rumour, and yes, it's kind of turned out kind of right at the moment, but we haven't got the board here, so we don't really know. We ain't got the CPU here, but yeah, basically CPU air cooler, really quite cool. Only costs between £50 and £60, depends on where you get it off the time of this video. And yeah, it's only been released it was released at Computex, and a few people have got it, and it is really good. It looks really stylish, really damn quiet, quite simple to put together, loads of instructions, and yeah, it's really good. Actually, the case was a lot easier to pick up because I took my water cooling out just so I can put that in the Be Quiet case. Now in that Be Quiet case as well, it's not like the best case to keep in airflow in. I've got 120mm fan that's actually just taking in cool air from the front, and basically it's a bit limited because it's only got air holes on the side, which normal cases that are a little bit bigger have got air holes everywhere, and it's dissipating heat from the top. And plus I had the cover at the top, and I just had like an opening from at the top, but I'm not keeping the VRMs or anything like that. Cool. There is clearance that you could put quite thick fans on there and stuff at the top. And yeah, it's really cool. It's got clearance on the graphics card. The way that it's built, it's like the graphics card could produce a little bit of heat from the VRMs and chokes from the back of the actual graphics card, flow up through to the RAM, if you've got overclocked RAM or just normal RAM, and dissipate heat straight from the top and through the back. Also cool air blowing through the front over the graphics card, and it could go like a bit of like half and half. So hot air's rising, but cool air's going over the top of the hot air and kind of mixing the hot air and cool air through the top. So it's really good. They've really well planned that CPU air cooler out. Anyway, I hope this video was very helpful. If you liked it and you like that sort of content, give me a thumbs up. If not, dislike it, leave a comment, subscribe, share this video so other people can see this video and help them out, because I like helping people. And check out my merch store to get cups, hoodies, mugs. I'm sure I just said that. Cups, mugs, hoodies. It's all the same thing. Anyway, check it out. That'll be in the link in the description down below. And as I said, if you want to have a little chat about stuff like this, just hit me up in the comments down below. I'll answer as soon as possible and stuff like that. And follow me on all social platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and all that sort of stuff. Thanks for watching. See you next one.